Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar, and I'm actually setting up another G Fuel tower right here. You ladies and gentlemen, use code SOG, by the way. There's some juicy flavors these days. Like G Fuel Sonic the Hedgehog's Peach Ring, which, hey, Sonic Frontiers is coming out. I need some level of caffeinated stuff to get me going through the day, okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk about this magical side of drinks, we got to talk about the magical side of the internet. Our buddy Elon, yeah, that person just bought Twitter. Yes, the world's richest man just bought the world's largest digital septic tank for $44 billion. God damn! Now, of course, this is one day that we saw was eventually going to come. Months ago, we talked about Elon Musk straight up trying to buy Twitter, and ever since then, there's been lawsuits, back and forth spats, and from time to time, there's been a little sussiness around Twitter being run by bots, which, to be honest, most social media networks have problems with botting anyways, not to hold anyone against more than the other. Just saying. Now, of course, Elon Musk was going, "The bird is freed." And this signifies when Elon Musk decided to walk into Twitter. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Quite literally, let that sink in. I'm not even joking. This man is such a goofy video game character. He actually has a sink as he's walking right into Twitter's headquarters down in California. Quite literally, this man is a walking meme. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk is in Twitter. He's actually the CEO and, he's actually fired two of the executives already. And yes, I mean, this man has become the CEO of Twitter, meaning that the last CEO got completely fired. Parag Agrawal, who was the last CEO for the company, and, of course, the finance chief, the CFO, both got fired, by the way. All right, literally as soon as it happened. Not only did they get fired, they were escorted out of the offices as soon as this shit happened. Now, this doesn't shock me that he's fired these two individuals, mostly because of, like, an insane beef that they were all having, simply due to the fact that Elon believed that he was being lied to about the actual, active user base of Twitter. Honestly, Elon Musk has tried to do everything that I think they can to back out of this deal in every capacity, and I think the only reason it went through is because he was literally facing lawsuits if he didn't. And I think a lot of this, firing of the top, executives came out of, pure malice. You know, there was just so much bad blood between them that, of course, as soon as this deal went through, they were out the door. They were going to get whatever severance they had, and it was just no more job at Twitter, easily. Now, of course, because Twitter has been bought out, this is something that Elon wanted to do for the good of humanity. And it's one where he basically started talking directly to people who were advertising to Twitter. For instance, I wanted to reach out personally to share my motivation in acquiring Twitter. There's been much speculation as why I bought Twitter and what I think about advertising. Most of it has been wrong, a little misinformation. The reason I acquire Twitter is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square, where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. There is currently great danger that social media would splinter into far right-wing and far left-wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide our society. Now, this is one statement that I kind of believe really heavily on. Obviously, with the internet and a lot of these social media companies, they literally do become de facto town squares. And sometimes it's beneficial to not sort of drop the banhammer, but to have as much discussion as we can within reasonable terms of service. Obviously, if there's people on the internet calling out for violence against whatever person, both on either extremes, that's never okay. And that needs to be moderated absolutely well. But if somebody out there says something you don't agree with, well, you've got block buttons, mute buttons, and the ability to correct them on their wrongs, okay? I might be more of an optimistic person, but I think that a lot of these ideas can be challenged, and a good ultimate idea can come out in the eyes of everybody. Now, of course, obviously with the way social media algorithms work, there's no doubt in my mind, and it's actually something you can scientifically prove even on various social media platforms like YouTube, for instance. If you watch one side of politics or one side of a spectrum, the algorithms usually push you more towards the extreme end, whether it be left or right wing, and it just keeps you engaged in sort of a content consumption loop. So obviously, these ideas about echo chambers and splintering off to extreme sides is not something that's Twitter related exclusively. It's something that exists across the entire blend of social media, if you will. So of course, that's something that I can totally agree in the statement from Elon. In the relentless pursuit of clicks, much of traditional media has fueled and catered to these polarized extremes, as they believe that is what brings in the money. But in doing so, the opportunity for dialogue is lost. I do agree. At the end of the day, when you actually use a social media service like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, they just want you to constantly be scrolling feeds or watching videos. And they don't care if they drag you into further extremes to do it. As long as your eyes are attached to the social media network, that's just raw money coming in to that service. And that's eyes being taken away from any potential competitor in the field. Remember, there's 24 hours in a day. YouTube wants you to spend 6 hours of that day watching them, and only them exclusively. For YouTube, it's a direct loss if that eyeball spends their time watching something on TikTok or spending time on Twitter or Facebook. You get the idea, right? This is the end goal for any social media platform. It's not an altruistic reason. It's always, of course, a monetary related reason too. This is why I bought Twitter. I didn't do it because it would be easy. I didn't do it to make more money. I did it to try to help humanity, whom I love. All right, this comes across as a little dumb, if you will. Yeah, I don't think buying Twitter necessarily means spending $44 billion on the Bird app isn't something that I think humanity necessarily needed. I do so with humility, recognizing the failure in pursuing this goal despite our best efforts is a very real possibility. That said, Twitter cannot become an absolute free-for-all hellscape, where anything can be said with no consequences. In addition to adhering to the laws of the land, our platform must be warm and welcoming to all, where you can choose your desired experiences according to your preferences, just as you can choose, for example, to see movies or play video games, ranging from all ages to mature. So literally right here in this paragraph, he straight up said you cannot turn this shit into fucking 4chan, okay? You can't just turn Twitter into /poll, alright? Or B, or whatever. It's gotta have some moderation, which obviously I think most people agree, right? I also much believe that advertising, when done right, can delight, entertain, or inform you. It can show you a service or product or medical treatment that you never knew existed, but is right for you. For this to be true, it is essential to show Twitter users advertising that is as relevant as possible to their needs. Low relevancy ads are spam, but high relevant ads are actually content. Fundamentally, Twitter aspires to be the most respected advertising platform in the world that strengthens your brand and grows your enterprise. So obviously they want to make advertisement that obviously is geared more towards you. For that, they're going to have to up their data collection, and for that, they're obviously going to have to specifically target specific users out there. I think it personally can work. Obviously, low relevancy ads are obviously a problem, but I think they can get things working right if they choose to, okay? Now, of course, at the end of the day, now that, Twitter has been purchased, I don't think this is all about ever going to make a profit. I think Elon gets it. I think most people understand if they work for a social media company, it's not about turning profit. It's just about having as many eyes on your platform as you can, right? And especially in Twitter's case, it really does feel like that is how they've been surviving the last few years. Now, there's been some weird sort of assumptions that Elon Musk is going to fire like 70% of the working staff. And while I've heard about it, he himself claims that he's not going to do that. And I guess I'm going to hold the billionaire off to that. One thing to understand, though, is like, what about people that have already been banned? And this is one thing that's kind of got like people sort of worried. For instance, President Donald Trump, ex-president, who like got banned off Twitter and basically all social media platforms anyways, to the point where Trump has to have his own social media platform, like, Truth Social. Of course, it's not just Trump, it's Alex Jones, it's various figures that have been banned off of Twitter to begin with, or really all across social media. And there's kind of one thing, some speculation coming out where, like, a lot of sources have come out and said, like, hey, people that have been booted off the platform as of life, like life bans, where if you get banned off Twitter, you literally cannot have another account, otherwise you would be ban evading, or people that can potentially come back. So that means, like, if Trump wanted to come back and start tweeting wild shit, he absolutely could. Now, one thing that I wanted to clear up a little bit of misinformation was I saw this video float around of a software engineer by the name of Rahul Ligma. Of course, if you're not totally brain dead in internet culture, you know that Ligma is definitely an internet meme. These guys were, I guess, like playing around, pretending to be fired, even though from what I understand, no engineer has been removed. They were making the most wildest stuff possible, okay? It is what it is. So as far as I can see, this wasn't confirmed. Also, Elon Musk literally said that they're going to form a content moderation council with widely diverse viewpoints, which obviously means that they probably received an email from like Apple, Google, and the various like mobile stores. and said, hey, listen, all right, if you're going to unban these individuals like Alex Jones, for instance, or whoever, we may have to consider your app not valid for our store, which is one of the reasons why a lot of those alternative tech websites went down, because they were just not doing a good job moderating. So obviously, Elon's going to have to prove to those services that moderation is key. Otherwise, he risks losing access to the mobile stores, which is where a big chunk of users come from anyways. Now, when it comes to bans, I treat these things very gingerly. I think if you're going to get banned off social media, it has to be for a very, very specific reason. Obviously, if you're out there promoting like some level of hatred and violence towards certain people, you should absolutely be removed off of the platform. That is never accepted in any TOS out there, right? But of course, if you're out there making statements that aren't directly harmful or if you're out there making a statement that honestly wouldn't fly publicly very well in the public sphere, I don't believe you should necessarily be banned. Your idea should be challenged. Of course, if you are promoting violence, if you are promoting genuine hatred towards people, like, I mean, for example, if somebody out there is saying some severely anti-Semitic shit, they should absolutely be removed off of the platform. The world has no place for that kind of shit. Now, of course, these people coming back to the platform, given the fact that he said you can't have a free-for-all, I wonder if these people do come back to Twitter and eventually do suffer some sort of a ban based on their behavior. I wonder what the TOS is going to look like now that Elon Musk has bought it. A lot of people said it may be a free-for-all, but the dude literally said they cannot do that simply because of running a company, okay? Like, if you run this company, you cannot turn it into direct pull, okay? Otherwise, no advertiser, no big brand wants to actually work with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk has done what we thought wasn't going to happen in the longest stretch of the term. He's bought Twitter. It's time to see what goes on. Ladies and gentlemen, were you excited for it? Honestly, I don't think much is actually going to change, truth be told. But we'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. Maybe the website might get funnier. Maybe I might find some stupid takes regarding self-defense that I can laugh at even more. But ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.